The stream again. Stop that. Close player. Close the player. All right, I gotta find my stream now. Refresh. I'm back. All right, chat. I'm trying to see if I'm still echoing. All right, chat. I'm trying to see if I'm still echoing. I'm good. I'm good. Actually, I might not be. But listen, chat. Y'all probably have to deal with this. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not doing this again. When you guys show up, you will let me know if I'm still echoing. Am I still echoing? Yo, welcome back. Am I still echoing, bro? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. I think it means that we're not gonna stream. I think this means that we're not gonna stream if it doesn't stop. Let's try this one more time. No more? So we're good. We're good? Bet. We're good. Okay. So week 8, chat. Week 8. Sorry we didn't really read that much for week 7. My mom was here. I told y'all right that I was in the military before, and so I've been away from home for a long time, for like the past 8 years. Right, it's the first time my mom ever came into town because she's scared of planes and stuff. So it was a very eventful time, and it was my birthday. You feel me? Your boy just turned 27. 27. You feel me? So I was pretty busy last week. So forgive me for only reading chapter 7 one time, but we're on chapter 8. The weeks keep going. Life don't stop. Life don't stop. The weeks keep going. So we're on chapter 8 now, chat. But let's go over what we went over previously in all the other chapters. And what I'm talking about is the master key system. I guess I haven't explained myself yet. We tonight will be reading chapter 8 of the Master Key System by Charles F. Right? I mess with this book. You don't have to vibe with law of attraction. You just got to be able to apply the concepts. The book literally tells you in the book that these concepts, can be whatever you decide for them to apply to, right? You just have to have something as a tool to practice with. This book is a tool to practice with. You don't have to believe in a law or something. You just got to be able to have something to practice with. This book, I vibe with the book because it gives you ways to practice. That's fire to me. You feel me? I don't like reading books and then having no way to do stuff. I watched it while I was waiting for you to get it good. Appreciate it. But I vibe with stuff like that. You feel me? And say hi to Astoria. Hey, welcome to the chat, Sophia's Life. Hey to Astoria. But so I vibe with this crazy. Appreciate the like on the stream. But this is the Master Key System. What's up, Rise? RHYS. What's up? And we're on chapter 8, right? So let me go ahead and go over what we've already done so far for chapters 1 through 7, right? So chapter 1, right? In chapter 1, we read chapter 1's section, but we're going to talk about are the activities that we did after the chapters, right? In every one of these chapters, in every single one of these chapters, right, the author gives you something to do, so like a practice that you can do as many times as you want to. And we do these together here on this channel. So in week 1, right, chat, we sat down for 15 minutes for 3 days. And we sat quiet, and what we were asked to do was to sit quiet for 15 minutes and not interact with your thoughts, right? So whenever you had thoughts come up, you were not to say anything, you were not to think, you were not to add any additional thoughts, and you were not to interact with your thoughts at all, right? And what did this help us realize from this activity, right? From this practice, is that you are not your thoughts. All that noise that's sometimes there is not you. You feel me? So you don't have to be like, when you have a thought come up, you don't have to immediately believe, oh, that's my thought, because it's not true. Because it's not true. Sometimes it's just noise, bro. Sometimes it's just noise, right? So that's what we learned in week 1 with this book, right? Week 2, what did we do? We did the same exercise as week 1, but this time we said to the noise, not now, maybe later, right? Um, what did this teach us, right? What did this exercise that we were asked to do from the book teach us? It taught us that at whatever time we want to, we can quiet the noise, right? If it's noisy, if we got a lot of noise, we got a lot of life going on, right? And we need to lock in on a task to accomplish it, we can do that. That's what chapter 2 taught us, right? Week 3. What did week 3 teach us, chat? It's been a minute since we did week 3. And I need to do week 3 right now. Because I had 3 cups of caffeine. I had 3 cups of caffeine today, chat. And your boy's up. Not gonna lie. Your boy's up. Not gonna lie. But in week 3, right, we remember that we can relax. That our bodies need to relax. The same reason why you have to sleep every night is the same exercise that we did in week 3, right? In week 3's exercise, what did we do? So we sat down, got quiet. We told our thoughts, not now, maybe later if they came up. But what did we also do when it got quiet? We said, headed to the gym. You never lied. You never lied. Your boy been busy all day, so I haven't hit the gym yet. So we might go to the gym later. After we got quiet, right? We reminded our body to relax. We're in the crib right now. We're at the house. We're in a comfortable spot. We can chill and relax at the crib, right? So you remind your body it's okay to relax right now. You don't have to be vigilant, hyper aware, worried about what's going to happen next. You can chill, right? And it's good to do that for yourself from time to time, or all the time if you want to. But we reminded ourselves that to our body, right? To our body and every part of our body to relax. So we got quiet, and then every part of our body that was like still hyper aware, really wanted to do stuff. We said, yo, chill out. We can chill right now. Week 4. What did we do week 4? So week 4 was the mental space. I know we already said we quieted in all the noise, but the noise and the mental space not really the same thing, right? In the mental space is where the fear lives, right? The noise doesn't necessarily have to be fear-based, right? The mental space is where the fear wants to be at, right? And where does that fear come from? The fear comes from the fact that you believe it's not going to work out, right? So what do we do in week 4? We said to our mental space, when we got quiet, when we told our body to relax, when we got really chilled out, right? We said, remind ourselves, if it came back up to us, if we got scared, if we had any fearful thoughts, if anything happened, we said, it's okay, it's working out. And that's it. It's okay, it's working out. And moved on. That's it. It's okay, it's working out, move on. You're not saying move on, but it's okay, it's working out. That's it. Week 5, we got into our visualization bag, all right? It really wanted us, in these last couple chapters, it has really been wanting us to get into being able to see ourselves in the position we want to be in, right? If you had 3 cups of caffeine, head to the gym if you had 3 cups of caffeine. You're right. You're right about that one. You're on the money. You're on the money. But we got in our visualization bag in week 5, right? That's where we started at. So the first thing we wanted to see is our environment, right? He wanted us to see our environment. So he wanted you to think about a place that you want to go to, and see that place with your eyes closed as vividly as possible, right? See everybody that's going to be there, see everybody that's talking, having a conversation, and interact with people. Do I have a mini hoop? You know I got a mini hoop football. The mini hoop is right over there. The mini hoop is right over there for ball. You saw me mini hoop basketball the other day. You know I got the mini hoop on me. You don't play basketball unless you got a mini hoop. But it wanted us to really see our environment, see where we are, and like really see it for ourselves. See us there for real. Dunk, bet. See everything for real, right? And then I gave you guys a tip and a trick about how to really see it, how to really get there and relax, is to look at your hands. When you visualizing, I said, look at your hands, look at your own hands, and you have no choice but to be there. You don't have any choice. But the moment you look at your own hands, you have no choice but to be in that moment, right? So, I gave you guys a cheat code, right? Gave you guys a cheat code. I'll be handing out cheat codes over here. You feel me? Because I get them. I get all the GTA cheat codes. You feel me? You feel me? I get all the. I got you. Got all the cheat codes. Tap, tap, 3 times, up, down, right trigger. You feel me? I got all the cheats. Oh, man, that's funny. Come here, baby. But, right? And then week 6, what we did more? We did more visualization. I got more in our visualization back in week 6 too, right? So in week 6, he wanted us to look at a picture of somebody or something, right? And then see their face or whatever that picture was with our eyes closed, right? So we got a picture of whatever we wanted to look at. I got a picture right here on my desk. That's the picture I saw with my eyes closed, right? They wanted to just see that picture, right? I told you what you want to do when you see that picture is to also look at your hand holding the picture, right? That brings you in that moment. Do not forget to look at your own hands. I'm telling you right now, it's a cheat code. Tap, 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 up, down, left, right, trigger. You there. That's it. It's a cheat code. I'm telling you right now that it forces you to be in the moment. If you look at your own hands, you're forced in the moment. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. But, okay, so, and then week 7, it was more visualization, right? More visual. He just really egging on the visualization from week 5 to 7 so far. We haven't got to 8 yet, but in week 5 to 7, visualization. What do you want to do in 7 though? He wanted us to talk to like a friend, have a full conversation with a friend that's not here. You remember when you had an imaginary friend when you was a kid? If you had one of those, not everybody got those now. Y'all don't have those. Y'all have cell phones. That's your imaginary friend, right? But you remember kids? If you were my age, I'm 27. I had an imaginary friend when I was a kid, right? But you can have a full-blown conversation with something that's not there, right? But not be crazy at the same time. You to visualize having a conversation with a friend, right? And then having that full conversation, seeing that person laugh at a joke you tell them, tell them something serious and see their facial expression change, just all of that. Like a normal conversation, right? So he really wanted us to get in our visualization bag from week 5 to 7. But now we're on chapter 8, and we don't know what's gonna happen yet. You feel me? So, man, it's time to read. This is chapter 8 of 24. We're doing all 24 chapters, chat, every week. Hopefully 3 times a week. I know we slacked up the past 2 weeks traveling, and my mom came in town, and your boy turned 27. All in his past 2 weeks, your boy been mad busy, and that's no excuse. We don't do excuses over here. I will do better. I always will improve. You feel me? So, part 8, we will continue to read, and let's get into it. So let's reiterate what we're reading tonight. We're reading The Master Key System by Charles F. Nell, a step-by-step guide with exercises that we do together here on the channel. This is week 8 of 24, and let's get started. Part 8. This part tells of the creative principle of the universe, what it is, how it takes form, and how it is brought into manifestation. This principle being the underlying principle of all existence must necessarily be governed by an immutable law. It tells how the character, health, and circumstances of the individual are formed, and suggests methods whereby desirable conditions and circumstances may be created. It tells how and why and when the material from which your future is to emerge is secured. It suggests methods and exercises by which you may secure complete control of the power which governs in this mighty field of action. Mighty because it is the most important work which any individual can undertake. We are making our future now, today. When it comes, we shall have to accept what is given. It will be too late to change it, but we can dominate it, control it, make it what we want it to be. And this part explains how. Introduction, part 8. In this part, you will find that you may freely choose what you think, but the result of your thought is governed by an immutable law. Is not this a wonderful thought? Is it not wonderful to know that our lives are not subject to caprice or variability of, page 108, any kind, that they are governed by law? This stability is our opportunity, because by complying with the law, we can secure the desired effect with invariable precision. North Carolina or Florida. North Carolina, You know I'm from NC. Always will be the home to me, baby. It is law which makes the universe one grand peon of harmony. If it were not for law, the universe would be a chaos instead of a cosmos. Here, then, is the secret of the origin of both good and evil. This is all the good and evil there ever was or ever will be. Let me illustrate. Thought results in action. If your thought is constructive and harmonious, the result will be good. If your thought is destructive or inharmonious, the result will be evil. There is therefore but one law, one principle, one cause, one source of power. And good and evil are simply words which have been coined to indicate the result of our action or our compliance or non-compliance with this law. The importance of this is well illustrated in the lives of Emerson and Carlyle. Emerson loved the good, and his life was a symphony of peace and harmony. Carlyle hated the bad, and his life was a record of perpetual discord and inharmony. Here we have two grand men, each intent upon achieving the same ideal, but one makes use of constructive thought and is therefore in harmony with natural law. The other makes use of destructive thought and therefore brings upon himself discord of every kind and character. It is evident, therefore, that we are to hate nothing, not even the bad, because hatred is destructive. And we shall soon find that by entertaining destructive thought, we are sowing the wind and shall reap the whirlwind. Part 8. Bullet 1. Thought contains a vital principle, because it is the creative principle of the universe, and by its nature will combine with other similar thoughts. Bullet 2. As the purpose of life is growth, all principle underlying existence must contribute to give it effect. Thought, therefore, takes form, and the law of growth eventually brings it into manifestation. Bullet 3. You may freely choose what you think, but the result of your thought is governed by an immutable law. Any line of thought persisted in cannot fail to produce its result in the character, health, and circumstances of the individual. Methods whereby we can substitute habits of constructive thinking for those which we have found produce only undesirable effects are therefore of primary importance. Bullet 4. We all know that this is by no means easy. Mental habits are difficult to control, but it can be done, and the way to do it is to begin at once to substitute constructive thoughts for I'm gonna read this way. To substitute destructive thought for constructive thought. Form the habit of analyzing every thought, if it is necessary, if its manifestation in the objective will be a benefit not only to yourself, but to all whom it may affect in any way. Keep it, treasure it. It is of value. It is in tune with the infinite. It will grow and develop and produce fruit 100-fold. On the other hand, it will be well for you to keep this quotation from George Matthews Adams in mind. Learn to keep the door shut. Keep out of your mind, out of your office, and out of your world. Every element that seeks admittance with no definite helpful end in view. Bullet 5. If your thought has been critical or destructive and has resulted in any condition of discord or inharmony in your environment, it may be necessary for you to cultivate a mental attitude which will be conducive to constructive thought. Bullet 6. The imagination will be found to be of a great assistance in this direction. The cultivation of the imagination leads to the development of the ideal out of which your future will emerge. Bullet 7. The imagination gathers up the material by which the mind weaves the fabric in which your future is to be clothed. Page 110. Bullet 8. Imagination is the light by which we can penetrate new worlds of thought and experience. Bullet 9. Imagination is the mighty instrument by which every discoverer, every inventor opened the way from precedent to experience. Precedent said, it cannot be done. Experience said, it is done. Bullet 10. Imagination is the plastic power, molding the things of sense into new forms and ideas. Bullet 11. Imagination is the constructive form of thought, which must precede every constructive form of action. Bullet 12. A builder cannot build a structure of any kind until he has first received the plans from the architect, and the architect must get them from his imagination. Bullet 13. The captain of industry cannot build a giant corporation which may coordinate hundreds of smaller firms and thousands of employees and utilize millions of capital until he has first created the entire work in his imagination. Objects in the material world are as clay in the potter's hand. It is in the master mind that the real things are created, and it is by the use of the imagination that the work is done. In order to cultivate the imagination, it must be exercised. Exercise is necessary to cultivate mental muscle as well as physical muscle. It must be supplied with nourishment or it cannot grow. Eagles or Panthers? Sixers or Lakers? Lakers. Eagles or Panthers? Eagles. Bullet 14. Do not confuse imagination with fancy, or that form of daydreaming in which some people like to indulge. Daydreaming is a form of mental dissipation, which may lead to mental disaster. Bullet 15. Constructive imagination means mental labor, by some considered to be the hardest kind of labor. But if so, I got you. But if so, it yields the greatest returns. For all the great things in life have come to men and women who have had the capacity to think, to imagine, and to make their dreams come true. Bullet 16. When you have become thoroughly conscious of the fact that mind is the only creative principle, that it is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent, and that you can consciously come into harmony with this omnipotence through your power of thought, you will have taken a long step in the right direction. Bullet 17. The next step is to place yourself in position to receive this power. As it is omnipresent, it must be within you. We know that this is so because we know that all power is from within, but it must be developed, unfolded, cultivated. In order to do this, we must be receptive. And this receptivity is acquired just as physical strength is gained by exercise. You gonna spam dunk? I got you, bro. I got you. As soon as I finish reading, I got you. Bullet 18. The law of attraction will certainly and unerringly bring to you the conditions, environment, and experiences in life corresponding with your habitual, characteristic, predominant mental attitude. Not what you think once in a while, but when you were in church or have just read in a good book. But your predominant mental attitude is what counts. Bullet 19. You cannot entertain weak, harmful, negative thoughts 10 hours a day and expect to bring about beautiful, strong, and harmonious conditions by 10 minutes of strong and positive and creative thought. Bullet 20. Real power comes from within. All power that anybody can possibly use is within man, only waiting to be brought into visibility by his first recognizing it and then affirming it as his work, working it into his consciousness until he becomes one with it. Bullet 21. People say that they desire abundant life, and so they do. But so many interpret this to mean that if they will exercise their muscles or breathe scientifically, eat certain foods in certain ways, drink so many glasses of water every day, or just a certain temperature, keep of draughts, they will attain the abundant life they seek. The result of such methods is but indifferent. However, when man awakens to truth and affirms his oneness with all life, he finds that he takes on the clear eye, the elastic step, the vigor of youth. He finds that he has discovered the source of all power. Bullet 22. All mistakes are but the mistakes of ignorance. Knowledge gaining and consequent power is what determines growth and evolution. The recognition and demonstration of knowledge is what constitutes power. And this power is spiritual power. And the spiritual power is the power which lies at the heart of all things. It is the soul of the universe. Bullet 23. This knowledge is the result of man's ability to think. Thought is therefore the germ of man's conscious evolution. When man ceases to advance in his thoughts and ideals, his forces immediately begin to disintegrate, and his countenance gradually registers these changing conditions. Bullet 24. Successful men make it their business to hold ideals of the conditions which they wish to realize.
They constantly hold in mind the next step necessary to the ideal for which they are striving. Thoughts are the materials with which they build, and the imagination is their mental workshop. Mind is the ever moving force with which they secure the persons and the circumstances necessary to build their success structure. And imagination is the matrix in which all great things are fashioned. Bullet 25. If you have been faithful to your ideal, you will hear the call when circumstances are ready to materialize. Your plans and results will correspond in the exact ratio of your fidelity to your ideal. The ideal, steadily held, is what predetermines and attracts the necessary conditions for its fulfillment. Bullet 26. It is thus that you may weave a garment of spirit and power into the web of your existence. It is thus that you may lead a charmed and be forever protected from all harm. It is thus that you may become a positive force whereby conditions of opulence and harmony may be attracted to you. Bullet 27. This is the leaven, which is gradually permeating the general consciousness and is largely responsible for the conditions of unrest which are everywhere evident. Bullet 28. In your last exercise, we're getting to the exercise already. In your last exercise, you created a mental image. You brought it from the invisible into the visible. Now I want you to take an object and follow it back to its origination. See of what it really consists. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a fun one. If you do this, you will develop imagination, insight, perception, and sagacity. I need to learn that word, but I'll see it a lot. These come by not the superficial observation of the multitude, but by a keen analytical observation which sees the below surface. Bullet 29. It is the few who know that the things which they see are only effects, and understand that the causes by which the effects were brought into existence. Bullet 30. Take the same position as heretofore and visualize a battleship. See the grim monster floating on the surface of the water. There appears to be no life anywhere about. All is silence. You know that by far the largest part of the vessel is underwater, out of sight. You know that the ship is as large and as heavy as a 20-story skyscraper or the National Gallery. You know that there are hundreds of men ready to spring to their appointed task instantly. You know that every department is in charge of able, trained, skilled officers who have proven themselves competent to take charge of this marvelous piece of mechanism. You know that although it lies apparently oblivious to everything else, it has eyes which sees everything for miles around, and nothing is permitted to escape its watchful vision. You know that while it appears quiet, submissive, and innocent, it is prepared to hurl a steel projectile weighing thousands of pounds at an enemy many miles away. This and much more you can bring to mind with comparatively no effort. But how did the battleship come to be here where it is? How did it come into existence in the first place? All of this you want to know if you are a careful observer. Bullet 31. Follow the great steel plates through the foundries. See the thousands of men employed in a production. Go still further back and see the ore as it comes from the mine. See it loaded on the barges or trucks. See it melted and properly treated. Go back, still further and see the architect and engineers who planned the vessel. Let the thought carry you back still further in order to determine why they planned the vessel. You will see that you are now so far back that the vessel is something intangible. It no longer exists. It is now only a thought existing in the brain of the architect. But from where did the order come to plan the vessel? Probably from the Secretary of War, or the First Lord, or the Admiralty. Probably this vessel was planned long before the war was thought of, and Parliament or Congress had to pass a bill appropriating the money. Possibly there was opposition and speeches for or against the bill. Whom do these members of Parliament or these congressmen represent? They represent you and me, so that our line of thought begins with the battleship and ends with ourselves. And we find in the last analysis that our own thought is responsible for this and many other things, of which we seldom think. And a little further reflection will develop the most important fact of all, and that is, if something had not discovered the law by which this tremendous mass of steel and iron could be made to float upon the water, instead of immediately going to the bottom, the battleship could not have come into existence at all. 32. This law is that the specific gravity of any substance is the weight of any volume of it, compared with an equal volume of water. The discovery of this law revolutionized every kind of ocean travel, commerce, and warfare, and made the existence of the battleship possible. 33. You'll find exercises of this kind invaluable. When your thought has been trained to look below the surface, everything takes on a different appearance. The insignificant becomes significant. The uninteresting becomes interesting. The things which we suppose to be of no importance are seen to be the only really vital things in existence. And that is the end of part 8. Part 8, questions and answers. Part 8, question 1. What is the imagination? A form of constructive thought, the light by which we penetrate new worlds of thought and experience, the mighty instrument by which every inventor or discoverer opened the way for President to experience. Question 2. What is the result of imagination? The cultivation of imagination leads to development of the ideal out of which your future will emerge. Question 3. How may it be cultivated? By exercise. It must be supplied with nourishment or it cannot live. Question 4. How does imagination differ from daydreaming? Daydreaming is a form of mental dissipation, while imagination is a form of constructive thought, which must precede every constructive action. 5. What are mistakes? The result of ignorance. 6. What is knowledge? The result of a man's ability to think. 7. What is the power with which successful men build? Mind is the ever-moving force with which they secure the persons and the circumstances necessary to complete their plans. 8. What predetermines the result? The ideal, held steadily in mind, attracts the necessary conditions for its fulfillment. 9. What is the result of a keen analytical observation? The development of imagination, insight, perception, and sagacity. 10. To what do these lead? Opulence and harmony. And now let's read this poem. Look to this day is the title. For it is life, the very life of life. In this brief course lie all the verities and realities of your existence. The bliss of growth, the glory of action, the splendor of beauty. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today, well lived, makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day. From the Sanskrit. Advice. And this is, I'm sure it's predating chapter 9, so we will not read this advice, and we will pre-read this advice right before chapter 9. Okay, there are a couple things I want to talk to you about real quick before we get into the next things that we're going to be doing, which are the activities that the book asks us to do. There are a couple things I want to hit on from the reading that we did. Got you. So I want to bring out an example of art that represents elasticity, right? This guy right here, bro, he represents elasticity, right? And bro, I like anime, bro. And anime fire, it loves to explain stuff that is just like this, right? But this is an example of elasticity. This is an example of a person who lives in freedom, right? And the same exact concept of his body becomes like plastic, like rubber, right? Your limbs are able to stretch. You're able to go further than you thought you were able to go to. That is the concept of Luffy, right? The ability to go further than thought imaginable, right? The ability to go further than anybody can truly believe at this very moment is the concept of Luffy, right? It's the ability to be plastic and rubber, to be malleable, to be able to fit into any form, and to pretty much be able to do anything, right? That is the concept behind everything that we read in this book. That is where this book is trying to take you. It's trying to take you to a place of elasticity, a place of formlessness, a place of the of the intangibles. That might not be the word I'm looking for here, but you know, a place to where the tenseness, the stress, things that do us no good, right? This book is to bring us away from it, right? To make us more elastic, to make us more free-formed, to make us be able to take the shape of our dreams, right? And that's really what he hit on a lot here. And I've also discussed something previously a lot, and he hit on this a lot too in this chapter. Imagination. I discussed it before. It's probably still on my board up there. Where would I have put it on which board? But maybe I erased it. It's cool. But imagination, right? If you look at it, let me get a book out so I can write it down. Imagination, if you write it out, I think I have my writing book in here. Yep, I have my writing book in here. I get some pencils from right here. Imagination, right, chat? If you spell it out, let me write it out for you. And by no means do I think I'm more intelligent than anybody else. I just see the obvious. You know, you feel me? I'm not saying I'm more intelligent than you. I just got common sense. I just got common sense. You feel me? That's why I like this book so much. I just got common sense. You feel me? And with my common sense, I'm able to see everything for what it is by not making it more than what it is. Imagine imagination is an image I am in. I was writing this on this paper and I was like, you can't see this. I was like, they can't read this from this piece of paper. That's why I paused. But imagination just means the image I am in, right? And if you spell out the word imagination, it says image I am in, right? Right? So that's all imagination is. And that's why I tell you to look at your hands when you visualize, because it's just the image that you are in. So if you are in the image and you look at your hands and that brings you to that moment, that is now the image you are in. That is your imagination. You feel me? Not daydreaming. Daydreaming is not seeing your hands. And I want to explain that concept as well, because he hit that too. Daydreaming, right, is you seeing something in third person. Daydreaming is the concept of daydreaming is seeing something in third person. You feel me? You feel me? So daydreaming is seeing something in third person. Imagination is first person. This is the image you are in. You feel me? Image I am in. Imagination. So that's why I say look at your hands, right? Because once you look at your hands, that is now the image you are in. Now you are actually active in your imagination. That will help you so much. That's why I want to. That's one tool I want to help out with for all of these exercises you guys do in this book. Because if you don't realize that your imagination is just an image you are in, right, and you overcomplicate it, right, then you'll do a whole lot of thinking, you do a whole lot of straining, and a whole lot of unnecessary stuff when we do these exercises together. And I want to make this as simple and as smooth as possible. You feel me? That's the whole point. You don't teach people stuff and then make them do it and then make them struggle. That's messed up. You feel me? You show somebody something and then you help them out.
You feel me? So tell you the stuff that helped me out in the process. So seeing your hands brings you to the image. You there. Now you're there, right? Now that's the image you are in. You are physically there. Now you are seeing it in first person. That's the point. You want to see it in first person. That's why he wants you to have the conversation from chapter 7 with your friend to see their facial expressions, right? He wants you to see it in first person. You have to be there. You feel me? So it's the same concept that you see somewhere else on the internet where you can say align with. When you align with something, now you see something in first person. Now that is you. When you align yourself with your goals, with what you're aspired to be, now you see yourself as that person. That's what it means to align yourself with something. And now you see yourself as that. When you're aligned with it, you see yourself as that now. That's first person. This is all of these books want you to see yourself in first person perspective. I'm telling you, you just have to see yourself in first person perspective. But that's something that could be difficult. So now we have practices. We have things we can practice with to help us see ourselves in first person perspective for our goals, for our aspirations, for our families. You feel me? So now let's get into today's activity. Chapter 8's activity for today. And he gave us one, boy. He gave us an activity. So let's go to the activity. In your last exercise, you created a mental image. You brought it from the invisible into the visible. Now I want you to take an object and follow it back to its origination. See of what it really consists. If you do this, you will develop imagination, insight, perception, and sagacity. I gotta learn that word. These come by not the superficial observation of the multitude, but by a keen analytical observation which sees the below the surface. So, it wants you to stop. He is asking you from this exercise to not be shallow. He don't want you to see my skin and assume I'm a good person, right? You feel me? He don't. Now you get to see my now see my trends. Trend analysis me. What do I do? Am I somebody that's trustworthy? Do I lie to you? You feel me? This is what you start to see, trend analysis. He wants you to begin to now use your analytical portion of yourself. There's nothing wrong with that, right? So see the truth and don't be looking at stuff or being as the most shallow stuff in the world. You see it and you be like, oh, that's what it is. Nah, that's not what it is, brother. But let's do today's exercise because I have other things to do, man. I still got stuff to do. So, oh man, let me do this dunk. Disconnect from Bluetooth, please. Hold up, chat. Apparently I connected to Bluetooth. I did. Phone, stop it right now. Stop it, phone. Why did you reconnect to this? Hey, y'all hear me, chat? My phone connected to the Bluetooth upstairs again. All right, but what he wants us to do is to see past what's right in front of our face, right? When you meet a person, you ask them questions, right? You ask them more about themselves. You feel me? You ask them more about themselves when you see somebody, you ask them a couple more questions. You don't just be like, you met them in 2 seconds and said that's a cool person, right? You ask them a couple more questions. So what he wants you to do right here is to use your analytical portion of yourself, right? Use your muscles, exercise your muscles, and don't let your muscles atrophy. You feel me? So we're going to exercise a muscle that some people don't use, the analytics. I'm not saying use it all the time, bro, because becoming over analytical is not what I mean. Overanalyzing stuff gives you anxiety. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just looking past it and accepting what you see on the other side. Not looking past it and then looking past it and then looking past it and then rabbit holing because you can't accept what you found on the other side.
I'm telling you to find a way to look past something, and then when you get to the other side, be cool with it. Be cool with it. You feel me? So, don't like football. Football's fire, bro. I was never able to play football though, because my mom, we didn't have insurance when I was a kid. You feel me? Use it every day in math. Facts. I love math though. Math used to be my favorite subject when I was in school. I used to get straight A's. Straight A's, boy, or I got a whooping. Straight A's or a whooping. No, 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 no other way around it. Straight A's or a whooping. What you want? A B? My mom said my son will never bring home a B. Look at me, son. Look me in my eyes. You will never bring home a B, son. Do you understand me? If you don't understand it, ask me. And if I don't understand it, you better figure it out. And that's how I live my life. If I don't understand it, I take a step back, right? Because, you know, you have to sometimes. And then I figure it out eventually. Because I always do. And that's how that got built into my soul, into me as a person, that I will always figure it out, no matter how difficult it may seem. But, yeah. Now, we're gonna do this. So find something and find one thing and think back to, not think, but be there with it, and just like the whole process of it becoming a thing in this reality. So a piece of gum is what I'm gonna do. I chew gum all the time, so I'm gonna use a piece of gum. All right, find something you use all the time and go back to the origination of where it came from, the person who first thought of it, and even before it was thought of, when there was nothing, and then come back, and then you realize the very beginning and the very end of everything is you. Oh dang, that's a bar. Golly, I'm going to be a rapper one day. All right, chat, let's go. It's time to get quiet. We're going to do everything together because some of you may not have been here before in any of my other chats and done the exercises so far. So we're going to do the entire routine real quick. So we're going to get quiet. We're going to do this for about 5 to 10 minutes, right? What I want you to do, right, chat? I want you to get quiet with me. I'm going to get completely quiet as well. Dunk. I got you, football. I will dunk. I will go between the legs and possibly win. Actually, let's dunk before we go. Let me get some of this energy out first. Let's do a couple. Let's do a couple yams. Because I said I was going to do it when I was finished reading. So I'm a dunk. Let's get a couple yams in real quick, chat. Oh, let's get a couple yams. Oh, yeah. Babe, don't come out here with no clothes on. Boy, I had to warn the I had to warn her. I gotta find my basketball. Boys, where are my basketballs at? Boys, where are my basketballs? Tell me right now. Use your words. Talk on camera. It's okay. Talk on camera. It's okay, baby. You can talk. It's okay. You say you don't know? That's not the answer I was looking for. Where are my basketballs? Alfie, I know you took them. Where are my basketballs? I know you took them. Of everybody who would take my basketballs, I knew it was you. There's only 2 of y'all. I'm talking about everybody's crazy. Found one. Oh. All right, chat. It's time. It's time to dunk. It's time to dunk. Calm down. Dad's finna do 20 legs, 360 yammer on the door in the living room. Let's get it. Watch out, baby. I don't want to dunk on you. I don't want you to get yammed on. Let me get better angles. Better. Y'all might see like in my drawers or something. Let me go push y'all a little higher. There we go. Let's go. Yam time. Yam time. Y'all really can't see the moves though, for real. Oh. The phone kind of heavy. Don't fall. Be still. Be still. Stay right there. I ain't even got no space to run, for real. I'm gonna come from over.
Let's go, Chad. That's one. Watch out. Hold up. Watch out, baby. Hey. Before I cross your ass up. This time I'll cross your ass. Hey, bam, behind the back. Shammy. Woo! Guys. Hey. Hold up. Watch out. Hey. Yeah. 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 Hey. Hey. Hold up. Bam. Bam. Oh, shit. What the hell? You knocked my ring off. Hold up, take my ring off real quick. Before it fall off. Let's go. Let's go. You think you're on something? You think you're on something? Yeah. Yeah. Low ass, boy. I don't need a low ass. Get out my face. I don't need a low ass. Come on. Hey. Ouch. I hurt myself. Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the stream, bro. I hurt myself. I made that. What do you mean I missed that? I made that. I made that. I made that dunk. I made that. I missed that. I made that dunk, Archer. You're capping. You're capped. You're capped out. I for sure made that dunk. I'm straight. Yeah, pain not real, bro. Pain not real, bro. Y'all ain't really met me yet. I haven't really said all my crazy stuff to y'all. That's mad funny. Pain ain't real, bro. It's not a real thing. That's why I do ridiculous stuff all the time. I made that. Hold up. I made that on the couch. In the couch cushion. Cause I'm like that. Cause I'm like that. Yeah, cause I'm like, I shouldn't even miss the bras. Cause I'm like that. Ouch. It'll be gone in like 2 seconds. It ain't real. Can you be mod? Hey, football, you gotta be here every single stream first. I need to see your commitment. Even though you're almost always here, let me get my ring. Cause I'm a married man. Whenever you become a married man, you have to wear your ring. I'm telling all the married men out there, if I catch a married man in the streets without his ring on, I'ma rock you, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'ma steal off. I'ma steal off on you. Cause you cannot be representing us like that. You cannot be representing us married men like that. You better have your ring on, I'ma rock off on you. Oh. All right, chat. Now let's get into this exercise because I was playing around. I just did dunks. Can you be mod? You gotta show up to every stream, Archer. I got a tally station. I know football. You've been to 90% of the streams. You was on a cold streak there for a minute. I had to see you in a little minute, but you came back. Now Archer, you went cold for like a couple weeks. You like 85%. I'm not gonna lie. Football got you. If we're doing calculations, football for sure got you on showing up to the stream. You're like 85. Football like a clean 90. You gotta bring that stat line up to at least 93%. I need A averages. When I was in school, a 93 was an A. 93 and above. You gotta get to a 93% and above to become a mod on the channel. I gotta see the commitment. I gotta see the commitment to greatness. Okay, but let's go ahead and get into. You got football. You at a 90. 90 is not an A in my books. A 90 is a B. What did I say? My mom said. If you get a B, you getting a whooping. My mom told me when I was a kid, if you get a B, you getting a whooping. So you can't be a mod on my channel with no B. That's crazy. My mom would not stand for that. 93 and above. That's it. Now, Yeah, one more stream. If you make the very next one, then you make your 93%. That probably calculates. That probably averages out. That's probably good math. Okay, but what we need to do real quick, right? Back into our quiet time for the next 5 to 10 minutes. What we're gonna do is sit down, get quiet. We're gonna do the meditation for quietness. We're just gonna sit down and be quiet. And if you hear any noise or whatever, if you start to hear like yourself talking or yourself thinking about going to go do something else, just be like, yo, it's okay, it's working out, or not now, maybe later. Whatever works better in that situation, either it's okay, it's working out, or not now, maybe later, right? Right after that, right after we get quiet, right after you don't hear no more questions about what's going on right now inside your head, then remind yourself to relax. Go to any part of your body that's either sore or you feel tense, any tense feeling in your body, be like, yo, you're chilling. This is time to chill right now. Relax. And just feel your body relax for real. Right? Do this a lot though. I recommend that all the time. I recommend doing that all the time. In that and then go live. But I recommend doing that all the time. To relaxing your body, that's amazing, brother. You're gonna thank me when you're 27. You're gonna thank me for this when you're 27 years old. And if you're older than me, you're gonna thank me when you're 60. Right? Um, and so we relax your body, right? And then next step 4, it's okay, it's working out. So if you get any type of fear coming up, if you feel like it's not gonna work out, you feel like, what am I doing this for? Hey, kick that to the curve and remind yourself it's okay, it's working out. And stay focused, stay locked in on this moment right now, right? Now we don't need to do nothing from 5 to nowhere else because we're not associating ourselves with 5 to 7 right now. We're going to skip from 4 to 8 because that's all we got to do, right? You're in 6th grade. Well, this will be amazing for you to start your life off with. I wish somebody would have told me this when I was your age because my life is great, but it would have been even more amazing. You feel me? Week 8. Week 8. We're finding the location of something that you like a lot. Mine is gonna be bubblegum, and we're gonna go all the way back to when the person thought about making bubblegum, right? We're gonna go meet the person who thought about making bubblegum, and then we're gonna realize that his thought is what created the bubblegum in the first place. His desire to chew on something with plastic in it and make bread off of it, make money. He probably wasn't even trying to make money, but his desire to have something to chew on created bubblegum. You feel me? So, hey, appreciate you stopping by, Archer. I appreciate that. But, right? And then we're going to realize that everything starts and ends with us. You feel me? Once you go back to our very original, the very beginning of it, you're going to realize everything starts and begins somewhere. May not be us specifically, but somewhere. We'll find out when we get there. But it's time to get quiet. It's time to go through all the steps I just went over, and I'm gonna see you in the next 5 minutes. It's currently 8:58, and I will be back at 9:03. Chad, am I still here? Sorry if I just abruptly ended the silence like that. Am I still visible to you? Okay, cool. Because my wife called me, and it usually crashes my stream when she calls me. So I just wanted to verify I was still live. So I'll just go over my experience real quick from the meditation, and then we're gonna do the outro, and then my wife asked me to go upstairs with her, so I'm going to leave. I'm going to end the stream. So, but what I did was I wanted to locate the origins of gum, right? So I saw a piece of gum in my hand, and from seeing that first piece of gum, it brought me back to somewhere where gum was originated. The image got a little hazy. As you can see, I was going with the little rattle. I call it the rattle. Some people call it the wobble, right? I will be going to the gym tomorrow and going live. So stay tuned, be ready. But the little wobble started going, right? And the wobble is like when you're, I guess when I'm really deep into meditation, my body starts to wobble. I really forget what it's called, what they call it, but I call it the wobble. But when I was going to the origin of the gum, my conscious rejected going so far back, right? So I wasn't able to get a very clear picture of what I wanted to see. So I will work on that, to be honest. I'll do this again. But I'll be going to the gym. I'm gonna be busy during the day, so it'll be in the afternoon around 7 p.m. It'll be around 7 p.m. in the afternoon, Eastern time. So I didn't really get all the way to the origins, but that allows me to still do this more for the rest of the week anyways. So it gives me a reason to also want to do this. And anyways, I gotta read it 3 times this week anyways. So stay tuned, right, chat? We're gonna do this again, we're gonna read again, we're gonna go over everything again, right? It's not the first time or the last time we'll be doing this. I appreciate that, bro. We'll just be reading chapter 8 again. Week 8 of 24. So stay tuned. Let's do the outro, right? We all got that limitless core, baby. Now you might know the reason why I chose that name. I appreciate you. I might even love you, but I'm for sure glad you woke up today. And thank you for joining my stream today. Thank you for the likes on the stream. Appreciate my chatters, football and Archer. I appreciate y'all every single time y'all show up. You feel me? I appreciate that from start to end. That's love right there, and I appreciate that love for sure, always. And thank you, I appreciate it. We're gonna be back. We're back to be back tomorrow in the gym, and we're gonna be back again reading chapter 8. We're gonna read 2 more times this week, and then we're gonna move on to chapter 9. So stay tuned. I'm gonna see you next time, football. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate it always. Peace.